So it is 6:10 p.m. in Abu Dhabi now. And today is session number 194 of our WeAreOne group. And today's topic is basically I will answer in detail the questions what Ronita posted into the group. So questions we'll go through one by one, and then we'll have a discussion on these issues. And as I just mentioned earlier, any one of you having any question, feel free to post it. Of course, if it is just like private issues or personal issues, that you send me one-on-one separately. But otherwise, if it is this kind of thing about the spirituality, about the life in general, or why these things happens and what is the thing, so you can post that in the group. Then we'll discuss. And this sometimes I see that you are defining that this is that. How about this? So this is that. Maybe it is your understanding. So I need to correct that understanding first, then answer the question. So this is all fine. Okay, whatever way you want, you can ask the question. All right, but of course we'll follow our the protocol we normally follow. There are a few basic principles we follow, such as that we'll not discuss anything about any religion and their practices, what is correct or not correct, or things like that. We'll not discuss. Also, we'll not discuss what is written in the scriptures. That to explain, can you explain it is written in so and so book, or the religious script or scriptures. So I will not explain that as a policy. And also not explain something posted in the social media. You have not got, it is not your question. You just forwarded something you received in the social media and asking to explain. I will not do that. Because the reason I explained, multiple times, as there are multiple millions of things are floating into the social media, and more than 95% of them are not true or changed or modified. As for example, some quotation I received through social media, whether it is said by Einstein, and some say it is said by Vivekananda, even some say it is said by Ratan Tata, and all this kind of things. So that's not, and sometimes they twist some of the things. So it is, I feel it is not worth spending time on understanding on each and everything received in the social media because of the authenticity issues. Yeah? But of course, if you find something is beneficial and you have benefited and you wanted to share in the group with your own view on that, this is the view on the spiritual thing, and you are welcome to share to that extent. But normally it is not encouraged to follow the social media thing. All the contents, not necessarily they are true, and most of the contents make you utterly confused. And that is exactly the same reason we're not going to explain about the scriptures, because scriptures are written on a certain context. Depending on level of awareness, that understanding opens up. Okay, so if a class 5 students are reading a calculus book, mathematics, they will not understand anything. What is this? What is these things? Signs like this and that and all those kind of things. It will not make any sense. Maybe they will scared from this mathematics. Yeah. So, but at certain point of time, when you learn what is the calculus and all those things, it will make sense. It will fine. It's all right. So that is the reason that everything has a time. And on the scriptures, particularly, my view is that you can read them post-enlightenment. Then everything will make sense. Every word of it will make sense. But before, it will confuse you. I just give an example like climbing a mountain. a mountain can be climbed in 100 different ways, from different direction, different zigzag way or roundabout way or whatever it is. South call, north call, through some forest, crossing some river and some rock climbing, and all those kind of things are possible. So not every journey will be same, because they are approaching from the same pinnacle, same the peak, from the different side. So spiritual enlightenment can happen from the different directions and arriving at the same point. So my advice is, don't waste time in checking what are the paths are there, who did what, and reading thousands of books and seeing 5,000 videos and read so many of captions and all those things. Messages and all those things, different practices. There are millions of practices, and you try here and there, little bit here and there. In the bargain, you will confuse yourself, and you will not progress. It is, I call it, you are moving around that mountain, but you cannot climb up. My advice is, you select. It is your choice, your free will. It is up to you which path you like to select and which resonate with you. That is absolutely fine. You can ask questions, you can get clarified, but maybe you take your time to decide. Once you decide, then follow that one path. It will take you to the peak. In between, don't waste time in reading so many things and that and all. That is my advice. So I have followed the same thing. I just blindly followed what is the path shown by my guru, and that's it. So I didn't bring my intelligence, ask questions, and question means inquiry is fine, but question means I'm not doubting anything. I said, what's the point, and this and that. So more you mix with all those, your intelligence, your path will get diluted. Okay, this path is beyond intelligence, so it needs to be experienced. It is not to be understood. Yes, experientially you can understand. That is called awareness. Okay, but not theoretically understand will not give you anything. So main is to be into the path, so that once you reach there to the peak, then everything, different religion, whatever they are saying, different masters, whatever they are saying or said in the history, the scriptures, all will make sense. You will know, okay, this path came from this way to the same peak. This path came this way, this path came this way. Everything will make sense. And you will be able to get the whole thing into your awareness. But before that, it will be if you get confused, it will delay your spiritual progress. I just make the logic clear so that we don't waste time into all those things. I am not saying scriptures are bad. I am not saying other master, whatever they are saying, they're wrong. I am not saying those practices are not good. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to protect yourself so that you don't take too much of detour here and there, because if you reach there, it is our goal to how we can reach our target in this lifetime, which is enlightenment, as fast as we can. And there are further journey post enlightenment. That is for the bigger purpose. That is for the humanity. So that opens up only after crossing this enlightenment and things like that. So the duality part is over. Then unity consciousness parts opens up after that path. Anyway, so that is the background I just given. So, but it is better you ask questions, your own words, your own, whatever doubt comes in your mind or in the process of experiencing whatever comes, you ask. It's fine, absolutely fine. So that's what is encouraged. So when Ronita have written those questions, very good. She has written on her own words in her own questions, that we can read the questions very clear that this came from her, and we will going to discuss all those things. So that's the background of all those things. I encourage all of you. So just write whatever questions, post it into the group so that we can discuss and grow together. All right. I think it's enough of introduction. We'll go directly to the questions. So first question was that does soul consciousness play a role with regard to intuition in an individual? How does it influence the quality of this intuition? Okay. Right. So first let us understand what the intuition is. Okay, so that's what I was mentioning in the beginning. You may understand intuition in one way, you might have written it, that's fine. But let us first understand what the intuition is, and then what is the purpose and the quality, etc. We will follow thereafter. Intuition is your soul's voice or your soul consciousness. Soul or soul consciousness is both are same. Our higher self, or it is, I say soul is the package of third body to sixth body. I explained when we give the 7-body system. So third to seventh, the package is called soul, which is not manifested physical, but it is that originally it is created by the universal consciousness as the part to have a different kind of experiences. It has got a path, it has followed as we call soul's plan. But anyway, intuition is our soul is communicating a message to us. That is called intuition. Okay. That is the voice of our soul, our insight that is coming to us, and different ways it can reach to us. Of course, it will not be listen as a voice or a vision sort of thing. It comes normally as a knowingness. Suddenly something, it's clear to you. It came from inside and it's make it clear. Intuition, so that is definitely intuition is the voice of our own soul or higher self communicating something to us, because our soul knows everything. So it is just at a certain point of time, we like to communicate something to us based on our sensitivity. We may or may not get the message. Okay. But it's keep on giving us messages. Okay. That is called intuition. Intuition, somebody say gut feeling, some say inner feeling, whatever it is, all are same. Okay. Some message I have not collected from the external world. It came to me directly through inside. I'm feeling something, that is the intuitive message. So with this understanding, does soul consciousness play a role in regard to intuition in an individual? Of course, yes, because intuition is the voice of our soul consciousness, soul. Okay, so definitely everything about intuition is coming from our soul. And second part of the question is, how does it influence the quality of this intuition? There is no such thing as a quality check of the intuition. Intuition coming from the purity. It is always 100% pure. Understanding may differ based on our sensitivity. Our receiver may be little bit, inaccurate in receiving the message. But whenever message comes, it is 100% clear and perfect. Okay, there is no such thing. Different quality of messages are given. It is the same quality coming from the purity. It's a pure 100%. How much our awareness is, how much we maintain our, it is called antakaran suddhi. How much internal cleaning we have, based on that, we'll receive the clarity of that message. So while coming, there is no such quality, all perfect, pure. Because it knows everything. It is connected with the universal consciousness. Receiving, maybe there is a different level of receiving the message possible. As I said, most of the time we don't even receive at all. We don't listen to that at all, because we are not that much sensitive to receive it all the time. That is why maybe we need to concentrate, and maybe that is why meditation and other things are there to quieten our mind, so that distractions are not there. It will be easier to receive and understand those messages. Okay. If you want to use the word culprit is our chattering mind. Because of our chattering mind, we cannot concentrate on the message we are receiving. By the way, why I'm showing this, intuition is always received by the heart, not by the brain. Heart then pass it on sometimes to the brain to make it more clear or understanding, in the physical level. But intuition always received in our heart. And then heart chakra, you can say, and then little bit of those who are very sensitive, when intuition comes, little bit of sensation comes of in your heart chakra, and that confirms that it is coming from that. All the masters, they know when they feel that in their heart chakra, they know it is coming from their higher self, and then they can even do that and further communicate it. Intuition is just one-way message, like a text message sort of thing, but it is possible to go further and communicate with our soul consciousness, two-way, like a phone call. That is all possible. All right, so that is about the first question about that, the quality and the I think soul consciousness, the role of intuition in the soul consciousness. I think that is what the explanation is. Second question, when a child is born, does the soul consciousness play a role with regard to the family it is born into, or as a soul with a new physical form, the womb it chooses to enter? Okay, this is a very good question. Okay. See, at soul level, what happens is before a child is born, so there is something called soul agreement that happen at the soul level. The soul chooses when it will happen the next incarnation, when in fact exactly the date and time of birth chosen by our soul, who will be our parents, what will be the family background. Of course, if you choose the parents, then you need to choose that family background, you choose the nationality, you choose the caste, you choose economic background, you choose the intellectual level or social structure, whatever it is, rich, the affluent society or struggling, or maybe the farmer kind of thing. All soul chooses. And all the family members, parents, ourselves, even our siblings, even to whom we'll get married, etc., and further our children, all are agreed upon well in advance. Before you take birth, higher dimension, there is no time. Everything is called in eternal now. So all the soul collectively decide who will go when and what role they will play and all those things. This is soul agreement is there. So in that sense, our soul definitely chooses everything. Yeah, not only chooses, the other soul, the parent soul, it has got agreement already. Otherwise, if the birth cannot take place. What will be the type of in the soul level, they decide what are the type of lessons experientially they're going to learn. Those experiences not necessarily nice and fine in our terminology. Sometimes the soul chooses to, in that particular lifetime, to solve various obstacles, maybe health issues, that money problems, relationships issues, and things like that. Yeah. Or maybe they choose some place where the war and etc. may happen. They choose that. Or there are some kind of social injustices going on. They take birth to choose, go through that, experience that, and then maybe going towards the solution. They try to so many, the soul chooses like that. In fact, more the mature soul, the aged soul, they chooses difficult lifetimes. Okay, so that is difficult means in our view difficult, but they chooses it because that gives them more strength. So whoever has been, suppose some weightlifting, one intended to go to weightlifting championship in the Olympic, naturally they will try to lift as much load as possible. Daily they will load maybe 100 kg or 120 kg load they will try to lift. So that means they chosen to take those weight so that they can strengthen themselves and then reach to the ultimate goal. Whether they have to, no. Soul has a full freedom and choice. They choose not to come through a certain aspects in life. It's quite possible. But at the same time, they can invite certain set of challenges which can be unimaginable. Normally, it cannot happen like that. But they can choose in the soul's path to bring it and then pass through and get it over. It's possible. Yeah. All right. But to answer that second question, when a child is born, does the soul conscious play a role with regard to the family? Yes, full agreement, all family members. Born with the soul is the new physical form, and the womb it chooses. Yes, it chooses its mother, and exactly what I said, that exactly when to take birth, which date, which time it will take birth in this incarnation, it chooses. And just for your information, that's why the astrological, the calculations, they ask the date of birth and time of birth, because that chosen by the soul, and based on that they can calculate what are the type of life soul has chosen in this lifetime. It's possible because these are all energetic, the connection, the choice of that particular date and time based on a certain of the planetary positions. So it also reflects the type of life it chooses to undergo in this incarnation. So those are all related. Third question: can we unconsciously connect it to our higher self? Okay. Let me answer this into a little different way. Can we unconsciously choose to connect? That means that you are thinking it is your will that connects to the higher self. No, it is other way around. Higher self, we are under higher self and always connected. Only it is a matter of awareness, whether we know it or we don't know it. That's it. So it is not our choice whether we'll connect to our higher self or not. Always it is connected, and we are with it. Not it is not that our higher self is with me. No, we are with our higher self. The higher self is connected all the time. We may or may not know it, or may not experience it. Again, that depends upon our own awareness and understanding. If you're not sensitive enough, we'll not know. Okay, and that can go complete lifelong. It is possible that you never realize about presence of your higher self. That is all fine. You can lead your life. You say, "Oh, I didn't experience anything." Quite possible. But only thing what you can do is, if you consciously wants to connect and communicate, that is where the spirituality comes into the picture. Spirituality is nothing but to know how to connect with your higher self or soul consciousness. And once you connected it, then it is start communicating with it two-way. Maybe once you get connected, there is some time comes where we just pray and say, please give me this, give me that, or show me some light to come out of this problem and things like that. But slowly, the communication develops, then it is a two-way. There is a question answer. You ask question, get answer. That is the second stage. Third stage is your own questions, own thing doesn't matter. Because your soul knows everything. You surrender yourself and run your life under moment by moment guidance of your soul consciousness. That is the liberated life. That is the enlightened life. Okay. All the spiritual masters, they live like that. They don't have anything to ask to the soul. The moment they are just connect. Moment whatever comes, they just spontaneously they share, or they, without any mind trick or asking questions or doubt, they just express that through the physical body. That's it. Anyway, but to answer this question again, can we unconsciously connect it to our higher self? There is no question of consciously or unconsciously connected to our higher self. Our higher self is always connected with us. What we can choose is how to communicate with our higher self. That you can consciously have to choose, because it is a part of your free will. This is just so that we can have our experience without getting guidance of our soul consciousness. That's how we do trial and error, and we go into our life. But ultimately, life mein dhakka mukke kha ke aake finally we go inward and find it out. But that's okay. That's a different issue. But you have a right not to connect. But soul consciousness is always connected. We are alive. Many things are happening. Just take some, practical examples. Who runs your heart? That it will pump at a certain pressure, and that that it will go to all the cells and all those things. Who takes care of your, sometimes, just during your sleep, a lot of healing happens automatically. Who does that? You have not chosen that. When you wake up, you feel fresh, better, all this kind of things. Means there is some activity happen overnight so that you are feeling a little fresh or better, and something of that nature. Sometimes we also guided not to land ourselves into imminent danger. Something inside you will stop you to take very drastic step or something like that. Or many cases there are stories that people they booked one particular flight and all, but finally didn't go, and that met with an accident or something of that nature. So those are basically their intuitive voice, and the soul is caution them, okay, don't do that. And it can also having while driving the car. Sometimes it is, if there is a danger, some kind of accident, it will, our soul comes into the play and divert our attention to something so that we get delayed or stop in between or something happens, so that we don't meet with that kind of accident anymore. So it is happening all the time. But anyway, so that is what it is about. That consciously you can communicate, you will learn how to do it and communicate, but otherwise our connection with the higher self will always there. Higher self is always connected to us. Question number 4. The best definition of a spiritual being is that at highest level of spirituality. The best definition of a spiritual being is that at the highest level of spirituality, the self, the body and mind, will become neutral to any event in the physical world. Okay. I think I need a little bit of clarification, but okay. Best definition of spirituality is that the highest level of spirituality is self, body and mind is not the self. Okay, body and mind, we call it ego. Okay, this package. So I'm just now correcting the definition mentioned there. Our self, or you can say it is a lower self. Our lower self, body, mind, intellect package, that is called lower self. That is called ego. And higher self is the soul consciousness, which knows everything, which is connected to which knows everything, connected to the universal consciousness and the truth and everything. So that is our higher self. Now, here the question is the spiritual being, definition of a spiritual being is that highest level of spirituality. The definition of a spiritual being is who is in a constant touch with its own soul consciousness. As I was mentioning earlier, that you have moment by moment guidance with your soul consciousness. That is what called spiritual being. Means all are aligned. My lower self, my higher self, everything is aligned. I'm operating my life under the direct guidance of our soul consciousness, not through my mind and body, or whatever mind wants, or whatever body feels good, we are choosing. No. Whatever we get the guidance, that's what we are following, that life. That is the best way possible to lead a life. Because every life has a purpose. So those purposes need to be served. If we serve very quickly, if we get direct guidance, and matter is over. Even just take it as a story. When you consciously choose to follow the soul's guidance, not only this lifetime, before the enlightenment type of thing happens, many of your future life, if there was any planned, they also brought forward and run it quickly, so that you finish it off in this lifetime. All whatever your plans are. So it becomes a fast forward life. A lot of things will happen, and this thing. Not necessarily everything is good, nice, and fine. Maybe you'll put yourself into more trouble for a certain duration. But what will happen is, during the process, after that, it will be gone forever. It will never return. And you will be then open for this, your enlightenment and that, freedom and this kind of thing, it will open up for you. So those also type of thing happens. So if you try to get this guidance and connection. So those plays out into your life, and you have been given all understanding, all strength, all guidance, all support and protection all the time, so that you can pass through these challenges and all those things. Only risk is your own ego. your ego controls us in three ways. That I shared many times. I'm repeating it now so that just you get reminded. Ego, it can create a doubt in us. What is the point? Should I do it or don't do it? Confuse. Or it can inject fear in us. Fear means you will not, something bad may happen, I don't know, maybe this will happen, that will happen. So unnecessary worry and fear it can inject, and it can take you out from your path. And third thing is it controls us. It logically convinces us that this is not the good thing to do. There are other better things to do. There are other ways to enjoy your life, and why not to do this? And this opportunity will not come, so you do this. So better that your spiritual journey go haywire. Anyway, so if you do not allow that to the chattering mind to control you, then eventually you will be able to pass through all these challenges and in this lifetime and finish everything, all the account closed. You get, further journey for the liberation onwards. Yeah, so those are all there. But if you fall into trap of this ego comes sometimes come back door. It can dislodge you from your spiritual journey, and it can take you through this mind and things like that. Yeah. Okay. So, and the second part of the question is the self, the body and mind. It is a lower self, body and mind will become neutral to any event in the physical world. Okay. What happens is that physical body and mind will never be neutral. Only thing is you have to change the who is controlling. You have to change the boss. We call it, because normally we run a life, our ego is our boss. Ego tells you do this, as I said, the three things, that way they control us. Our ego dictates what we should, where we should go, to whom we should meet, what we should eat, and, how we lead our life. Our ego tells us all the time. And we think that is the best, smartest way to do. And we, walk into that. And most of the time we ran into trouble just because of that is not the path for us, but we realize it much, much later. Anyway, so this particular matter, that is the lower self versus the higher self, when we learn how to surrender everything to our own higher self, called inner guru, then the physical, you change the control tower or control room from your ego to your soul consciousness. When that happens, then the physical body and mind need to just undergo the instructions moment by moment. You need not to even think and do too much of its work. In fact, that kind of leading life is very easy. Rather, controlled life through our ego is very difficult, because a lot of scenarios, a lot of confusion, and a lot of worries and things like that is merged with all those things. But moment by moment to guidance and living a life is very easy. So you don't need to, go run all the risk analysis in your mind all the time. It's already, the purity it is coming, and you are just executing it. So you are just executive. So in that case, your ego become the servant of the soul consciousness, what it should be, because the knowledge area, power, everything, soul consciousness is much, much higher, and it is almost infinite. So in that sense, some people say that our ego is a very bad master, but very good servant. Like if you can make your ego or physical mind, body, intellect package under the guidance of soul consciousness, that is the best combination possible to run your own life. So in that sense, that in the event physical world, and the second part of the question also said about the physical world. Yeah. So as your soul consciousness knows everything, including physical life, your issues, your what are the type of thing you wanted to learn, what are the obstacles you have, what are the way forward, what is your future plan, and all the even solution to all your problems are there. So when you get guidance under your soul consciousness run your life, so whatever problem comes, it doesn't matter, because you will realize that those problems are coming to make you understand something, to get some lesson. If you learn the lesson, there is no purpose of those problems to stay. It will evaporate from your life. So if you go under guidance of your soul consciousness, it knows exactly how to respond, not to react. That's why it's called detached life. Means you know that there is some purpose, higher purpose. Currently, my brain cannot process that. The logic, it cannot process because it is beyond logic. So if you stop analyzing it, just follow, like I call it, just float in the river of life. It will take you wherever you need to be. Ultimately, it will go to the ocean. But if you try to manipulate it, try to go in a certain direction, but maybe it's not the direction for you, then you will get pushed back. A lot of pushback, and you struggle and you cannot move further. So that's how your journey will be delayed, and you struggle, you lose your energy, and eventually you will not be able to move much. If you want to, your wish to go into certain things needed, etc., it will just simply not happen. Yeah. So anyway, so go to the next question. What are the indication of self-realization in spirituality? This is also another good question. Many people ask me that how do I know that I am enlightened? So this question have many types of answer. So means I have seen the masters also saying sometimes if you awaken, like if you get up from the sleep, you will definitely know that you have awakened, and then there's no way you can miss that you self-realized. Yeah. But I will go into a little different approach, because this is also looks to be apparently dodging the question, not giving the right answer. So some people say, okay, tell me in one sentence. Yeah. This is a mota sa batao, kya hai? So that I know that I am enlightened or not enlightened. So then I prepared some answer for that also, and I'm just sharing it with you now. If you can control your thoughts, as per your wish, like thought, switch off, no thought. Spend 15 minutes and say, no, thoughts come back. Like switch on and off the light bulb and thing like that. If you can do that, you are enlightened. If you have not reached to that stage, you need sadhana to go to that level. As simple as that. Okay. I am giving you very practical answer to this question. How do I know I'm enlightened or not? Just practice this. If you actually can switch off your mind, no thought, at your will. It is not that I think when I sleep, I don't get too much. Don't dodge that. Yeah? What happens unconsciously, it is done. I'm not talking about that. Consciously, awake state. Now, if you can just switch off and hold it as long as you want. Like riding a cycle, I just ride a cycle and pedal the cycle as long as I want. Then I want to get down, I get down. Like that, it's a skill. You develop the skill so that you can switch off your mind and hold it. And at your will, you bring it thoughts back. Like switch on and off, you can do that. Then you are enlightened. You are self-realized. And many people say, what do you think? If I can do that, then what about the meditation and Kriya and all those things? I said, nothing required. You are already enlightened. You are reached there. You don't need anything. No reading any book, no practices. Very simple. Just do that. Okay. So if we are not there yet, then whatever you need is just to reach there. Meditation is nothing but learning to quieten your mind, because that thoughts are injected by our ego. So we have to shift, as I mentioned in the earlier questions, we have to shift our control tower or control room from ego to soul consciousness. Ego controls us through thoughts. Unless until we stop the thought thinking mind, we cannot go beyond. Always we'll be dragged into this ego trap. So when there is no thought in your mind, ego loses its control completely. It drops out. That is called annihilation of ego. That there is a process. And then you opened up with the soul consciousness, so you don't no longer needed the mind space to operate. You go into direct connection to soul's mind. It is not a mind, but it's called Chidakas. That is awareness. You are operating from the awareness. Your thought doesn't matter. But after that, thoughts will be under your view and control, like a cloud. When you go to the aeroplane, you see some clouds flowing here and there. So it doesn't matter like that. So if you go to the awareness level, thoughts will come and go. It doesn't matter. You need not to stop it, but it will lose all its power to control you. It will float here and there, and that's okay. It's all right. So that is a quick test, and that is a self-realization. That is the practical of way of answering it. Also, I need to add another major point. It is not practical. Practical, I told you how to check it. But practical thing is, self-realization means you will have all your answers directly, first-hand from the source. Brahma Gyan, from downloaded from the divine directly to you. Those are your truth. Whatever your questions are in your life, it can be something happened, you don't know why, or somebody behaving like that, you don't know why, you are facing some physical issues, you don't know why, and what is the goal in life? I tried 50 things, it didn't happen. Which is the 51st one which is meant for me? I need to know, and then I walk in that direction. All these answers, you have to get directly firsthand. All answers are available. There cannot be anything in this universe which is not known by the source. Everything is known. There cannot be anything is under experimentation. No. Only thing possible is you have not experienced that yet, but everything is known. Okay. So in that sense, when you ask and you get direct answer, and when there is no question left for you to know, that is, you are fully self-realized. It is called you completed your Gyan Yoga. Okay. So then there is absolutely no answer left. No questions left. Even if there is something new, something comes, you instantly connect and you get the answer. That's it. Then something can happen which is earlier may not be knowing, like as for example, during COVID time, the COVID word itself and the disease itself and whatever, it came like a new thing in the world. We connected and get the answers. Even Babaji gave how to protect ourselves from these kind of things at that time. Earlier, we didn't know about what the COVID, no master knew about what the COVID is, COVID-19 is, because it didn't happen. There is no need to ask these questions. But if something new, as just I've given an example, something new comes up, you can ask it and get instant answer. And then you can move forward. And when I say that, I just also need to, add 2 points here. All these knowledges, you should be asked from the purity and utilized for the priority for the greater purpose. And for that, you need love and gratitude to the divine. If you are not grateful, the pure answer will not come to you. That's number one. Number two is, if you are asking question for your selfish interests, you will not get the perfect answer. Because you are asking, some people say, oh, if you know everything, then you can ask what share price will be of that particular stock. and what time, then accordingly use money and a lot of. So basically, we're trying to fool the system, like the universal knowledge for your personal benefit. It will not happen. Why not happen? Because if that happens, you will lose your experience. You will get dragged into that greed of getting money and through these means, and it spoil this. Whatever the power you will have, you will lose it. The greed will take you away. Ego will come back and take you away. Okay, that's why this I'm just mentioning to footnote here. Otherwise, self-realization means knowing everything. No question is left. Once you go to that level, no, you realize that how wonderful, perfect the creation is. We'll not complain about life. We'll enjoy life. We understand purpose of everything. I think I mentioned this earlier also. Even the pain and suffering we're undergoing, it has got a purpose. It has got a higher purpose, and it is so perfect, because it is all created for our betterment. Like I give an example from the coal mine, whichever part of that coal undergo direct temperature, pressure, hitting, cutting, grinding, and whatnot, comes out as a diamond. Same coal. Okay. So the value of the rest of the coal is different, diamond is different. So our soul, nobody else, the God, so-called God, doesn't punish us or doesn't reward us. It's all our soul. It makes us undergo different situations, and so that we come out, or the whole process as a diamond. Don't waste our life, become another coal. I'm talking the soul point of view, not the physical world. Because physical world, anyway, you have to live it. No, whatever. What's the point? You have a huge money, huge this and that, great enjoyment, fun life, and a lot of things. But end of the day, you have to live it. No, so many things. You say, people say injustice is happening, so and so that they are killing people, they are torturing this and that. But even that person, death will come and take him away. Okay, there is no such thing. Divine justice is always there, And after death, they have to settle everything, if not before. They have to settle everything, come back here and repay that. There is no, divine justice is there. There's no way of so-called outsmart the system. It's not possible. So if no power in this world can stop a particular maybe torturous person or some dictator or whatever it is, death will still come to him and take him away. Okay. Anyway, so that is about that. The question about that fifth question about what are the indications of self-realization and spirituality. As I said, there are a lot of answers to it, but I have given 3. Here I hope you just got it. Next question: can a spiritual being commit crime? If it is a part of soul's plan, what is crime in spirituality? Good question. Spirituality is a process of getting connected with your own soul consciousness. Okay. So in the spirituality, it is all, our soul consciousness is pure. There is no such thing called, the crime here. There is nothing called crime into that. Okay, I think our time is not much left. It may disconnect. I will post another link if it is disconnected, and we'll continue our discussion. Okay, so what is the question was? Crime in spirituality. Okay. But understand that crime, there is no such thing called crime in the spirituality. Everything is just an event or an experience from soul point of view. There is nothing called crime. Okay. Only question is whether you are aligned with your soul or not. Whether soul has created it or not. If soul has not created it, you are misaligned. Because normally crime is done by the lower self under influence of our ego. Because ego thinks this is the best deal, even this is the best way to do it, and that's how they go and do the crime. But only thing is, every action has equal and opposite reaction. Law of karma comes and they have to do it. So if the spiritual person, now I'm answering to that, if suppose a spiritual master, can the spiritual master do some crime in the physical level? Yes, they can, because they have a free will. There is no such thing, the binding that you have to do this and don't have to do this. It's not a military rule. All are free will. But a self-realized person will not do that intentionally because they know the consequence of that. Whatever you earn with so much of effort, so much of sadhana, why you lose it for few, physical gain and things like that? But karma will come, even karma will go lifetimes after that. All the spiritual masters, they can see their past births. I shared with you, I've personally seen more than 70 of my past lives. And I have seen how the karma affect. Many life failed because of I run behind some greed or something, and that's why I have to face consequences of that in the another lifetime maybe. So why I should take a chance? I think the call is ending. So I will see you all in the next half of this and continue with the same question. Okay. Om Mangal.
Pranam RPA.
Pranam. All right, let us start our second half of the session. So we are discussing about question number 6. Can a spiritual being commit crime if it is a part of soul's plan? And what is crime in spirituality? Okay. All right. So just continue with the discussion, the crime in spirituality. So that is the crime, as I was mentioning earlier, at soul level, there is no crime. This all about only the alignment or misalignment, the level of purity. So only the lower self, the crime, etc., is being injected by our ego. If someone is committing crime, it is possible. Some maybe highly spiritually evolved person can also do crime because free will is still acting and comes under the ego and does something which is crime, but they have to face consequences. Even for the spiritual people, it will be more than the normal people because it is like, the military has a different rule for the weapon use, like any crime. If somebody goes and starts shooting somebody in the normal people, civilian, and the army, someone goes and start shooting the gun, the punishment to the army person is much, much higher than the normal person because the army has been empowered with the gun. Gun is given for certain purposes, not to, follow your own whims and fancy to shoot at anyone. You have to follow orders as well. So the spiritual people who are aware, if they just do any crime, that crime is very, very serious. What happens is they fall from the grace. There are many, there are some stories about the Vrasht yogi. Some of them, they slipped from that path, and most of the things are same, old thing what has been learned called Kamini Kanchan. So this particular, the desires, some they come back and sometimes they affect and become the root cause of their downfall. But if somebody of highly spiritually evolved who knows everything, knowingly they do crime, in that spiritually, they end of that life, they go into something called limbo for a long time. Not this side, not that side. Neither they can take birth and do, something progress or something like that. And next several lifetimes, they have very less progress. They will not get any chance to come in contact with somebody, spiritual guru or the master to guide them. So that way, multiple, sometimes even going to about 50, 60, even 100 lifetimes, no further, spiritual progress, they suffer the consequences of those kind of things. So, but the true spiritual masters, they don't do it simply because they know the consequences. They don't need physical pleasure or this money what can buy. Those kind of pleasures are practically like 0.1% of what the bliss, the spirit, the connection can get you internally. Why you unnecessarily go into this kind of stuff? You can have like the nectar of the heaven coming and you're experiencing it all the time, moment by moment, and that's basically free. You are enjoying that life. You understand that what is called the purpose of life, and so-called unnecessarily giving importance to many things in life, and you don't need to do any crime. What's the matter? It's okay. If somebody can do crime towards you, they also face very high level of rebuff because you are surrendering yourself for the divine cause. If you are truly divine, like in the Jesus Christ also, they killed the people, they have killed him. Many masters, they undergo certain thing. If the crime happened to them, they don't react. They don't know it to be. because they are beyond any action and reaction, but they simply because some crime has been happened to them, then the divine justice comes and take care of that, and they also be heavily punished, so called. Like they once I think Prem Nirmalji was explaining this kind of thing. Like sometimes what happens is suddenly they said the loss is happening left, right, and center. They don't know, but it's nobody did anything wrong to them, but they are losing money here and there, losing peace of mind. Even the diseases, they come, small disease happen, but they're not curing for a long time, and nobody else is there. Any guidance, any guru and all those things is there to guide them under that kind of condition. If these are the consequences, what happened, and basically, nobody done anything, but they themselves put themselves into that kind of cage of their own creation, and they suffer. That's they fall into the trap of the ego and suffer, and all these kind of things happen. Anyway, but to answer this question, so this is how it is. We all have a free will. Anybody can. Yes, there is no such thing called crime in spirituality. It is just whether you're aligned or not aligned. That's all. So in the spiritual journey, so there is no such thing called strict rules. That's why there is no crime. There is no law there that you have to impose. Yes, there are universal laws. So more you are aligned with the universal law, you get more benefit. But there is no punishment per se in the spiritual domain. Only thing you can say that you are not enjoying the best version of yourself. That's the only thing. So you are just on the path and you are walking it. And even those who are not enlightened, they are like they're sleeping. Enlightenment is the awakening, wake up. So there are many who are not enlightened, they're not getting that, they're sleeping, but that is also not a crime. Not getting enlightened, not having enough progress in spirituality is also not a crime. Just like a person who is sleeping, they're not a criminal. They're just sleeping. When they wake up, they will know the truth. That's it. Okay, so only the truth, revelation of truth may be delayed for them, or it will happen later, or yet to happen. That's all. Otherwise, there is no such thing called crime and punishment in the spirituality purely. Only it is in the domain of our ego mind play and our misutilizing of our free will. That is possible. And I said the consequences you have to fear. There is no way that you can undergo something, you do something, you will not face consequences. Yeah, that's one thing possible, that if you do enough of sadhana, you give your best effort, you are walking the spiritual path, divine grace can happen, which can do the karma kshalan, delete the karma. Only very few masters are allowed to do it in this today's world. But of course, it's coming from Babaji only. But other than that, that is an exception. Those who have undergone that, those are exceptions. Okay. But in general, you definitely have to face consequences of whatever karma you are, through your free will, you have occurred knowingly, unknowingly, and all those kind of things. So, but in the spiritual, anyway, there is no such thing called, in the spiritual domain, there is no thing. Everything is just an awareness, and we know how to protect it. Like we intentionally don't put our hand into fire, because we have awareness. If I put my hand into fire, my hand will burn, and that experience will not be good. I have a burning sensation in my hand, and it may go for months. Okay. So same here. If you are in the awareness level, you don't unnecessarily put your hand into the fire like committing any crime, because you know the consequences and you don't want that. Why? You have given enough effort and things come to this level. Why unnecessarily put your hand to the fire? Why? It doesn't make any sense. No? Same here. Actually, spiritually aware people, they don't do any crime. There is no need. And they know the consequences. So it is not because they fear the consequences, just they are aware, so they don't do it to start with. That's all. All right. So next question is, how does connection with a spiritual master stimulate spiritual ascension apart from provision of guidance? Does unity consciousness play any role here? Okay, unity consciousness will come a little later. First, let me answer this. How does connection with a spiritual master stimulate spiritual ascension apart from provision of guidance? Okay, that is also a very good question. Huh? You know, that guidance, you mean the question, answer, and all those kind of things? Yes, it's there. But the truth is, the question answer, okay, it enhances your awareness and all those things, but that is not the purpose of the master, yeah? Or guru. Guru is just, it will dispel the ignorance, no? The darkness of ignorance. That ignorance is not this like a physical level knowledge or the dialogue or theoretical knowledge what normally you get by the speeches and all. That is not the purpose. Even if they listen from the masters, 80% of things people will forget. It is known, you know, there's nothing new in it. What is the role of the master is that energetically, if you just connect with the master, energetically your vibration will go up. Awareness will automatically develop. More the connection, faster the progress. Okay, that is something. It is also called some Shakti path. Like master's energy you are receiving, that is helping you, not the dialogue. Okay. Sometimes if you just have a cup of tea with the master, that is good enough. Okay, because that energy field you will get shoot up already. If you energetically connect, that is a physical presence, you know, because physical presence, you can feel the love field, you know, very high level of pure love. So, and even some people are so sensitive, they can, you know, they can say, where is that, the master, where is the purity? Because that light of awareness, that drags you towards that. So any master is spending time with you or energetically connected with you, you got elevated already. In fact, whatever master said, you know, like these are having recording, there are some, they transcribe it, listen again and again, transcribe it. More and more you get connection and your vibration goes up. What happens in the vibration? Your level of awareness opens up. There are multiple layers. Okay, if you wanted to go into the energetic specifics, then there are many chakras. There are 7 chakras within our body, 7 main chakras. There are many more. 7 main chakras in the body. You know, above and below our body also there are many chakras. So more you are in touch energetically, energetically you are in contact with the master, in any spiritual master, you know, I'm not specifically saying any master, they are in that level. Any connection you do, like just simply listening and all, the content doesn't matter. The connection, what happens is, one by one, your chakras opens up. As for example, that when the opportunity comes in the physical presence of a master, then you go to a particular high energy place. Like we went to Varanasi, or we are now going to Babaji's grace, we are going to his cave. These are already very high vibration places. And in presence of the master and the divine guidance, maybe multiple of her chakras will open up. Maybe, some people say there are a few hundreds above your head. Anyway, so maybe 50, 60 chakras will open up if you have an opportunity to do this at one go, one shot. And that will be then your own awareness level. And that will, when you operate from that level, automatically the benefits you will realize, and there is no such fixed rule. It is about your receiving capacity. The divine grace is showering infinite. Babaji's grace, there is no, truly, that unlimited and infinite anyway. So it is up to us to get the connection, and through that we just our decoding and cellular vibration change, and our DNA will open up a lot of dormant DNAs and all those kind of things. Those powers will be all available. And that will be definitely indirectly whatever physical level we want, our physical body and all those things will get automatically benefited. Physical body will get benefited, and our situations will change, our relationships will be better, not necessarily the way we want, what it, for our ultimate good. All these things will happen. Yeah. So, and you, not only that, you will be fully in aligned with the divine purpose. So you become the representative of the divine. That will be that your role. So, and that will be reflected through all your actions and words and things like that thereafter. But anyway, to ask the question, so master's guidance is not necessarily limited to just giving you the knowledge, theoretical knowledge. Masters give you the guidance, even if you know or don't know. Whenever you communicate in touch, automatically your vibration goes up. Even if you see the recorded or you will read also, that also there is some energies there in every word is said or written by, which is came from the purity. It opens up. Anytime there is higher dimension, there is no time. Somebody is listening or reading it after 5 years, then also it is open up. Just for the experimentation stage, no? So one day I started listening to some recording I had some maybe few years back, and started. I also come to meditative state, listening to my own voice. The moment start listening, I got into that meditation and the peace and calm and that tranquility. It came automatically. But only thing is, there is no one to claim any credit for it. Okay, there is no one. I'm not saying it is happening because of me. Who am I? I'm, just a conduit. It is the divine grace happening. I'm blessed to get this channel. I'm allowed to receive it and pass it on. That's my biggest reward. Yeah. In any single person's life change in the positive direction, I consider the purpose of my life is served. I repeat, if whatever I'm doing, whatever saying, doing, and this, that, and teaching and passing on, whatever it is, if just one person's life is changed in the positive direction, the purpose of this life is over, is done. I have done whatever I am supposed to do. The purpose of my life is served. Okay, that kind of power it is. Anyway, so now let us come back to the question. So how does the connection with the spiritual master stimulate spiritual ascension apart from the guidance? As I said, it is a vibration and your opening of your higher chakras. More you interact, higher and higher level of your awareness grows automatically. Yeah? It's not necessarily how much you listened and what you understood or don't, doesn't matter. Most of the things are beyond intellect anyway. Understanding doesn't matter. If you are just silently spending time with the master, that is also good enough. It gives you same benefit of listening to the lecture or whatever it is. Okay. Next part is, does unity consciousness play any role here? Unity consciousness need not to play any role here. We are going towards the unity consciousness. That is our spiritual goal, the oneness. To experientially understand that we are one. Okay, which is the name of our group. That is a oneness, and that can be experienced. People are in the different level of awareness to experience the oneness. During our meditation, the 6th state, we also touch upon that oneness. Sometimes I mention that experience, you feel like everything is created by you and universe is inside you. Okay, you are not looking to anything. At the time of oneness, if you are praying, it appears that you are praying to yourself. Everything, sun is rising for you. The river is flowing for you. Okay. All the birds are chirping for you. You are that. Okay. So that is the experience of oneness. That is our ultimate spiritual goal, so that to experience oneness and be with that, all the time, every moment. So that is our final spiritual goal. And end of our soul's journey, we merge into that oneness back again, the universal consciousness, and that is ultimate moksha, or that complete liberation. And as I mentioned, the Babaji is our moksha guru, the ultimate, the process, end of soul's journey, not physical journey. End of soul's journey, Babaji will do that process, help us to merge with this oneness. So that is will be supervised by Babaji. Okay. So for the time being, what my advice will be, that oneness part, keep it aside, because that is the end of spiritual journey. Initial part will be just work towards enlightenment, self-realization. Oneness will automatically happen. After that, the doing will go. No need to do anything for that part. It will happen. More you go to the purity, more you get into higher level of awareness, you will ultimately reach there. But doing is only in the physical level. So do that sadhana, do that whatever is you have been taught. Even if our mind compares, this is good method, bad method, and I also mentioned that, see, whichever method gels with you, but it is your understanding. Whatever is meant for you, whatever best for you, you already received it. Only you have to stop your thinking mind, analyze and follow. In the beginning of today's session, I mentioned that just select one path and complete your journey to enlightenment. Then you try other methods. It's okay that time, no issues. But first you complete one. Whatever you need to complete that, you are already getting opportunity for that one. Nobody will push you to do anything. Nobody will ask you to go and sit with that master, talk to that master, attend this, do that, and go to certain place and all those kind of things. And then your mind will come and analyze that should it is worth going and all. I have got some invitation to go to a marriage. Should I go to marriage or this place? That's up to you. But opportunities, those are given to you. It is your choice to utilize it, to get most out of it, and then so that you can reach your destination much, much faster. If you do, means from inner side, you offer. What you can offer? You can offer your time, your seva, or at least the attitude, of gratitude. Be grateful for whatever you received. Further things will open up. Whatever you have, offer. I'm not saying give, just offer, because that creates a lot of blocks to go to offer something. Then you will receive abundantly. There is no dearth into the source. Okay. Only matter is we block the pathway to receive things with a lot of pebbles and stones and sometimes boulders. Okay. Guru is trying to help you out to leave those kind of boulders and clear those paths. Guru doesn't have any self-interest, because there is no need for Guru to come back, because it is all done. Only those who chooses to come back to helping the humanity. And that whatever is possible, just get that help and try to understand, remove those blocks so that the flow comes to you automatically. And then you elevate yourself. And that's it. And then ultimately the doership will go when after the enlightenment, there's no doership. So then only the awareness, only the going to higher and higher in the level. So going to the experiencing your higher and higher self. And that way, and finally, it will be merged with that Babaji's supervision, and it will be merged with the oneness. And that is your moksha and ultimate liberation. All right. So I think that was the last question. So I conclude this explanation. So if there is any question, so you are welcome to ask me. Okay. Indranilla, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. Somewhere in the session, there was mention of child also, right? Now, a
Mhm.
child is always known to be the epitome of purity. A child is pure in all aspects. Now, is it because in the first 3, 4 months after the child is born, you will see child has a very blissful look
Yeah.
about it, looking at the ceiling, smiling, etc. So that signifies purity. So
Mhm.
does that mean there is some remnant of the past life, or
Mhm.
is the child connected to the higher dimension?
Mhm. Okay. No, that's a good question. Not only first few months, first few years, actually. They are connected and protected and guided by the divine. Okay. Or soul. Okay. It is we think that we are taking care of this and that. It is actually not. They learn so many things, learn directly. They have a direct connection and protection from the divine. That
Mhm.
is why they have no such worry or something like that.
Right.
It is they just make friend very easily and laughing and all those kind of things, and those are all because they are already protected and guided.
Mm.
But the child, that innocence they lose, that happens during that teenage. When teenage started, then
Mm.
intentionally that connection is cut so that the free will can take over and they can decide whatever life they wanted to go. And that is why you see the lot of tantrum comes during the teenage time.
Correct. Mm.
So, and that is normal, because it is they suddenly lose the connection. Even the children, small children, they can see the entities also. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
They're the higher dimensional entities they can check and all only because they slowly they realize that these kind of things nobody will accept. My parents will not accept. If
Mhm.
suppose, as for example, if some child says, I have seen some some blue color big man is coming and waving hand at me. Huh?
They'll laugh. People will laugh.
People will laugh. Not only that, the parents tell ki, no, you might have some confusion and illusion and all this thing. Don't think about that. Huh? Don't talk about that. Huh?
Mhm.
So this is nothing. Like so. Slowly they realize that these are some of the things that not to be discussed. But that does not mean that they don't see it. Huh?
Right.
See, even communicate. Most of
Mm.
the time, you see, even they laugh on their own and all
Yeah.
these kind of things without saying anything. They are not
Correct.
scared. So anyway, but they to answer your question, they do have that connection a few years after the birth.
Okay.
Yeah, and they are getting protected. A lot of things they get protected by the divine.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
God bless you. Yes, Shoma, go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening. I was at the initial stage, there was a question on intuition, right?
Mhm.
So, when can you recognize like it is your intuition or is it your fear?
Mhm.
Or
Okay.
what?
Yeah. So the direct answer to is one is generated by mind, another is not generated by mind. Okay. If it is a fear, it is definitely not an intuition. The fear actually happens in absence of the connection. In absence of that connection, we get fearful. Fear, technically, spiritually, it is just absence of pure love or the connection.
Hmm.
When we don't trust that I'm connected with the divine, I'm fully protected and guided, when that sense of connection lessen up, then the fear comes up. And that is why I also mentioned the three ways our ego controls us. One of them is fear. No? Fear, doubt, and logically convince us why these things not to do or do certain thing. It can inject fear only when our connection is less. If we are truly connected, there is no chance that we can be fearful because we are protected, we are guided, and that is the truth.
So maybe the first instinct is our intuition, and then if we go deep into analyzing
Right.
all.
Yeah, we call second guessing, third guessing, and it spoils there. Because we are not confident to go with the first came in our mind by lot of mental analysis, and then it lost in the translation. That is no longer an intuition. It is an interpretation. And most of the time, those interpretations are completely wrong or different than what the original message was.
True. Okay. Thank you.
God bless you. All right. So, any other question? Anyone?
Guruji.
Yes. Sonali, go ahead.
Guruji, I just want to ask you, is that sometimes fear ignite some thoughts that may come true or that may happen that can be treated as intuition sometime? Is that possible not?
No, not possible. The fear cannot generate an intuition. No. No way.
Oh.
Okay. Fear is an absence of see, normally what happens is the fear is a fear of unknown. Yeah. We don't want to take risk of going somewhere in the unknown. But the truth is, if we don't venture about the unknown, we'll not learn anything, we'll not know anything, isn't it?
Okay.
The first going to know anything is unknown. No? Before you know something, it is unknown. So you have to step out. If you don't want to step out of your house, how do you know how the world is? Okay. So there is a purpose of getting into the unknown. You need to explore the unknown to convert it into known.
No, I'm telling you like this. Say I am fearful about my near and dear ones and maybe some particular person, and I'm fearful for him or her. And one day I think that came to my mind that he or she may not live for long. Is that intuition or my thought only?
No, this is not intuition. You don't know. Okay.
Okay.
You don't know because your soul knows. And but this is our worry. Okay, worry created by your own mind. There is no truth in it.
Okay.
If you do your own survey of whatever worried in last maybe 5 years, most of the things you see that didn't happen.
Okay.
Something else happened, but not the one you worried. Yeah? So that means your worry cannot cause an event to take place, negative event to take place. Okay. That's not possible. It is only in your mind projection that is the case that happened. And but by saying so, but if you raise your vibration, then something called manifestation, that you get the power to manifest something. So that time it will not be treated in your thought and worry and things like that. If you come to know about certain things is not going to so-called good, okay, you will also have the knowledge how to correct it or how to heal it at the same time. Okay, you will know it and know how to deal with that as well.
Okay.
Okay, but the lower level, the lower self only projects the fear to control you. And the fear they express like a worry in the name of something, in the name of like mother can worry about the children, in the name that I'm mother, I'm supposed to do it. No. Okay. Mother is just a label. They are not your children. You think you created them? No, Creator has created. You are a temporary custodian. Do whatever best you can, and then they leave it to the divine. Good, bad, whatever happened, see that time. So worry will not change anything. No? Okay, only it gives a mental satisfaction. I worried for you too much. Okay, no other value. Just self-satisfaction that you worried about something, and there is no other benefit. In fact, by worrying, you yourself can fall ill sometime if you worry. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so this is the answer. There is no such thing. Intuition comes to about somebody will die and that person will die. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
Okay.
And the higher level, it is possible to know, but also you will get that you have all the power to understand, not to worry, power to heal it or do the necessary, correction if it is needed. You will also get that. Okay. As I was giving example that if there is a chance that you will get with an accident, you are driving the car.
Yeah.
Intuition will come and make you stop somewhere unnecessarily. Maybe your tire will get punctured or whatever. Yeah. That
Okay.
is possible. Okay.
Okay.
That is possible. But not accident will happen because you're thinking I may. No, nothing will happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji. Pranam.
Okay, Pranam. Okay, so Dhanjali, go ahead with your question. Then because I'll come to you after that.
Sure, Guruji. We already had a session on this before, but I forgot to ask then. But we had this topic today also that before a child takes birth, he said that the soul already has that connection, decides who the parents will be and everything. But then there are also cases where there are abortions or there are miscarriages. So how does this relate to the entire thinking process that the soul gets connected and these are the parents? Is it that sometimes people say the soul took the wrong bus?
No, nothing like that. Yeah, so it is because of any reason. It can be medical or some accidental or whatever reason. The soul, the birth cannot take place because of maybe abortion or something like that. I'm just giving my personal, view in that. I studied this. I saw the same soul is coming again. Okay, maybe after some few abortions, some child actually born out of the same parents. Same soul came back. It is like an attempt. It didn't happen, but finally they come. It's happened. No? It is not that the soul has all the power. No? Because of any physical reason, like if some physical body met with an accident, soul cannot stay because body is unlivable. Like any house, say maybe the house is wall is broken and nobody can stay here. No, as simple as that. So then the whoever lives in there, they have to leave that, vacate that place. So same here, but they can just make it when the opportunity comes, they come back. So it happens all the time. So it is no major deal. And if soul decided not to take birth, they can leave it at any time. Maybe some stillborn and thing like that can happen. That sometimes soul chooses that to give some greater knowledge or lesson to the family. Maybe the family, there's too much infighting. So after this kind of event, the family come together. Okay, so the purpose is not to live that life, just to bring the family together, and purpose is served. And the baby is become a stillborn, like death after being born. No? So, yeah. So but the family dynamics, the moved a big direction if something happens like that in the family. So there are multiple things, that is possible to have this kind of things. Even though from outside it looks like it is a bad thing happen, it is like a curse or something, may not be. It's a mysterious ways. Something what is saying it is not good, maybe it is for not immediate good, but for ultimate good. Okay, so this happens all the time. Soul has a full knowledge and power to do anything. So you are nobody is harming anything, but doing that, even there's abortion and all this thing, no. So that is not that. If soul wants to born, it will born anyway. And if it doesn't want, it has got a full choice not to do by any excuse. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
All right. Okay. God bless you. Vikas.
Yeah, RP, thank you for this session. It was very enlightening. After listening all this, I wanted to ask one question. The biggest anxiety is anxiety of death. As you grow old, when you are young, it doesn't matter. I mean, those thoughts that they don't come. But as one grows old, this also comes as a thought.
Yes.
Health and then death. So how to deal with them? How to come out of this?
Okay, that is a good question, but answer is simple. Same is enlightenment. Okay. Basically, to avoid the fear of death, you have to experience the death in the physical body. Being alive, if you experience whatever the death brings, then fear of death will disappear. And all masters, there is no exception. All masters, they go through the process. At the time of death, what you lose basically? Yeah. Okay, you lose your bank balance, you lose your, relationships, all relatives. Yeah. So you lose your property, you lose your designation, you lose your name and even the body, you lose all those things, no? That goes in a second. Okay. But same, all those, if you can consciously leave it, to let go of all those things, that spiritual terminology, that is called detachment. If you can detach from all those things in the living body, you get enlightened. Then the death cannot touch you in that sense. And it is said in that spiritual path, because death is, as you mentioned, death is the highest fear and highest worry everybody has. To overcoming the death is to go through that process, this one. To experience whatever death will take away from me, I will experience voluntarily in living body. When we come out of the other side, we got enlightened. We got detached from everything. Then death cannot touch me. In other sense, we just shift our operating system from the ego mind, which is fearful, to the soul consciousness. Soul never die. Death is not there in soul's dictionary. Okay. So what happens is, if you shift the consciousness, then the soul consciousness will take over. Your awareness will take over. The fear of death will go. Not only that, when you overcome the fear of death, you will see all your past lives whenever you wish to. Human lives, I was telling that 700 human lives already you have taken. Okay. So I told that as per wish, I can go and have a look at anyone, but only see the important one. So more than 70 I have seen. That means all those 70, or say maybe if I wish all 700, I can see how I died. Okay. So if you know 700 times you died, the maximum thing you have worry or maximum thing you have fear, it happened to you 700 times. How do you feel then? It is like you are an actor in a stage play, you go out of the stage maybe 50 times earlier, 51 times. It's okay. Or somebody say like changing a dress. So every day we change the dress. No, it's like changing dress. So from soul point of view, it is nothing. It is another experience. That's it. So there is nothing new, nothing this thing. So nothing to fear about. Okay. So you operate from that, and that is why in the spiritual terminology that call being dead, you become immortal. When you go through that experience of physical death in the living body, you become immortal. Your consciousness goes up to the soul level, and which is immortal. Then you operate as an immortal. you don't fear that when I will die and all those things. I told many times, I know in the physical, this body, when we will be dead. Date, time, everything. Who will be there, where, and all these things is known. But I'm not fearful. I have seen similar things maybe another 70 times. No, doesn't matter. It's okay. Basically, if it is, that day somebody has forwarded some video of, Gaur Gopal Das, I think he's the famous, I think, Krishna Bhakt, So he was just giving experiment. If you put 1 cup, you put 1 spoon of salt, you taste it's very salty. You cannot take it. Then take it in a glass, little better. 1 spoon of salt, you can still taste it. Then you put a jug and put 1 spoon salt, drink from there, nothing. You almost see no difference. Little bit change in difference. Like that, when your consciousness goes up, then one death will be minimum. Like in a water tank, you're putting 1 spoon of salt. No change, nothing. That 1 spoon of salt is a death in this life. Okay, so you have to just enhance your consciousness and be with the soul consciousness level. It doesn't matter. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay. God bless you. And then Vani.
Guruji, I had one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody asked already that the child is connected already to the soul. Is it because they don't have ego, or is it because their thought less, they can go into thoughtless mind? Or, I mean, if that is the case, then some kids, like mentally challenged or something, they don't grow in a way, right? So are they connected all the time, or like how?
Oh, yes, everybody. Any living thing is consciousness, not only child, animal, plant, everything is connected. Okay, so that is a different issue. But thing is, one soul can choose to take birth in a certain kind of limitation and deformity or disability. It's quite common.
Okay.
Okay, that is quite common. They just wanted to experience same life differently.
Okay.
So far as this particular, this kind of disabled, child, here they call it special child, child of special need or whatever way you call it. Actually, their purpose is to teach the others pure love, unconditional love.
Okay.
See, suppose when a completely, disabled child takes birth, from the day one, the parents, they know I cannot depend on the child. The child may not study, may not earn, and child cannot take care of me. We have to take care of him. Isn't it? Yeah. So in that sense, the parents got a chance to develop unconditional love, giving something without any return.
Okay.
So basically, the child is helping them to learn it.
Okay.
To come out of the selfish motive, because selfishness in this physical world is very predominating characteristic. In the spirituality, it is on the spiritual dimension, it's just opposite. It is like a so-called earlier we're discussing about the crime. In the spirituality, maybe this is the crime. Selfishness. Okay. Means not a crime, means you have to come out of it. It is one of the challenge you have to come out of. These kind of special children, they help the parents to go into that direction.
Okay.
Because from the beginning, I have no hope that this child will take care of me, whatever normal hopes are there. Or this child will be the top in the student, in the class, or maybe sports champion, nothing.
Yes.
Okay. So that is the purpose is actually for them. The soul chooses to take that kind of birth.
Okay. One more quick question. Personally, I'm not very anxious about my death, but I'm very anxious about the others that I really want them to live longer than me. So something like that is also because of the fear and ego.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, of course, fear and ego. But let me, because I often come across this kind of things. Ask yourself a fundamental question: is it something under your control?
No.
So, what do you do in thinking and worrying and this? What do you do?
Yeah.
You just, what you can do is just to pray to the all powerful. Please take care. I will not be here. Maybe please take care. Maybe my children or somebody else. Please take care of them. I have no control. I have no knowledge. Anything can happen to anyone. Even next moment. Who knows?
Yes.
Okay. So rather than getting scared of that, take that as an opportunity to seek the blessings and say the pray for please take care of that. I don't have the control. I don't have the control. I don't have the means. I don't know the mantra, tantra, or whatever it is. I don't know anything. But what basically is, I'm looking for the best. I want the best thing to happen to that other person. Please take care. Whatever is their best interest, let that happen. Please take care because you have all the power to take care of it. So just pray and pass it on to the creator or the divine who has all the power to do it.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Fine. I think we have answered all these things. We don't have so any time left for the meditation. So if any, we'll go directly into our